Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts. It's Scooby-Doo Tuesday, guys. You know what that means? Of course it means we're here continuing the journey of Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. This is Season 2, Episode 4, Web of the Dreamweaver. I like that title. I really like that title a lot. So last week's episode, we finally captured and figured out who was the Crybaby Clown. Of course it was the Taylor Lautner parody, Baylor Hotner or something, whatever, and he was Daphne's boyfriend, of course, for a couple episodes, but it was all a ploy, okay? He was there across the cove researching a role, which he technically was, but he became the Crybaby Clown because he was going to be doing this movie or whatever, so he was kidnapping a bunch of people. And the third act of the episode, I think, went so over the top that it didn't feel like Scooby-Doo, because Fred jumped on the plane, was flying all around, skimming it across the ocean and going crazy. That giant plane sequence, I mean, it just didn't feel like Scooby-Doo at a point. And this kind of happened in Season 1, where we had the two wizards fighting over Crystal Cove and using abilities, powers, whatever. That felt so over the top, like it felt like it was above what Scooby-Doo normally is, so it felt kind of strange. But at the same time, Fred didn't use a trap to stop Crybaby Clown. He literally flew the plane and was able to bring it back to Crystal Cove and save Daphne and everything. And it seems Daphne's back with the gang. Unfortunately, they're kind of implying Hot Dog Water is out, because it was kind of strange because she's standing there by herself. They're all hugging, the gang's back together, Daphne's there. They're all happy and everything. Hot Dog Water's by herself, and I think Velma looks over at her, and she kind of like turns away, and then it fades away. So I'm assuming this means Hot Dog Water's not in the group anymore. This is really unfortunate, but it's good to have we have Daphne back. But I hate the fact that Hot Dog Water, who was pretty good in terms of working with the team or whatever, and it's clear she has something for Velma. She feels something for Velma. It feels like the character is no longer a part of the team anymore. We'll see what happens. So let's dive into the episode, guys. Let's check it out. Episode 4, Season 2, Web of the Dreamweaver. Let's go.
No. How did you find me? No.
What the hell? Okay. She's still in the intro. So, what's going on?
Like, keep your eyes closed. A bit longer.
They usually don't talk during the title sequence.
Surprise!
What's going on?
Well, Marcy, I fought for you to stay. But, well, it's
Dang.
always been the 5 of us.
It could be 6.
I was hoping you would put our friendship before Mystery Incorporated. It happened just like you said. Moment Daphne came back, I was out. Don't
Damn.
worry, I got it handled.
Hey guys, you know what always makes me feel better?
A mystery?
Traps?
Well,
No, traps. All we need now.
I could use a little soul cleansing right about now.
dang. It's all a ploy, though. It seems Hot Dog Water's messing with her.
Norbert
Yeah.
Feist, I must advise. All I know is he's a thief, and he belongs behind bars.
Something happened, though.
Thief? I was asleep and then I had this
Dreamweaver.
terrible dream.
Mm-hmm.
I've come for you, Norbert.
Okay.
Level 99.
What does level 99 mean?
How would I know?
Yeah, that was a weird thing, right? Oh my god. Was it Hot Dog Water? Mr. E?
Twenty-sided dice.
This, okay, they look like a role-playing game or something, maybe?
And the super secret about Francilee's cornbread stuffing is there ain't even no corn in it.
Lying about there being corn in your cornbread.
She's arrested for that?
I love that secret stuffing recipe more than my own chillin'. And now it's
More than your own children, just like the guy with the car.
He said 20-sided dice.
Yeah. What is...
First Harbert,
It's...
now me.
They know
I don't
something.
who else
Listen to Big House.
She's
before my
driving.
parents. We have to warn him.
Holy shit.
What's this? A broken light bulb?
I love that mansion more than my own children. If I had
Always love more than children.
He was saying one word over and over. Dreamweaver.
Dreamweaver.
Nerd that plays Crips and Creatures.
Crips and Creatures? Isn't that the nerdy fantasy role-playing
Dungeons
game
and
that
Dragons,
nerds
basically.
play?
Like,
What are you doing in there? Norva?
Mom! Like, no, Mom! No! Don't come in! Please don't!
Don't come in.
Bronson, he's after us! And
You're next. I don't know what you're talking
Oh shit.
about.
What the hell? This is pretty interesting. Oh, that's cool.
I drink a large potion of health.
I cast detect magic on my butt.
So they played this game forever ago.
Lord of the sleep realm.
Looks just like the Dreamweaver we've seen on the show right now, yeah.
Stands before you.
But why would he go after you guys?
Aren't you paying
Yeah,
attention?
who was the fifth player or
Because
who
we
knew about
stopped
this?
playing.
Hot dog water, I bet. Oh, Mr. E.
Mr. E. Mystery Incorporated is a team. That's why I gave Fred the piece of planispheric disc.
A
Yep.
team without hot dog water?
Soda pop.
Check.
Sugary snacks.
Check.
Insomnia. Here we come.
Oh, shit. Wait, it might be the first guy. The first guy who claimed he had the dream. We didn't see it, though.
Welcome back, Bronson. Time to cast you into the abyss.
Holy moly!
I think it might be the first guy. The first guy we saw. Oh! Wake up. Come on.
The Dreamweaver holds his orb in his offhand, not his main.
Time for some magic of my own. Confess, Dreamweaver.
Confess!
That's weird. That is weird. I knew it.
I'm the Dreamweaver.
I knew it.
Busted.
They're all righties. You're the only lefty in the bunch.
This type of light bulb.
Okay.
It cost you millions of dollars, which you loaned yourself from your own bank.
Orbit. The Dreamweaver raises his orb, ready to cast.
Ooh.
The Dreamweaver
Okay.
laughs as he casts your broken, lifeless. I loved him more than my own children. And you took him away from me. You were all part of it.
What are these people doing in our bedroom?
About to say, what the hell?
Dear.
Fred, you left the door wide open.
I don't think he did.
Fred, is that?
Oh my god.
Brad,
Oh my
Charles,
God.
and Judy?
We're your parents.
And we're back.
Okay, hello! There was already a lot to talk about with this Dreamweaver storyline and this whole idea of going into people's dreams and all that kind of stuff in this machine or whatever, but then, at the end of the episode, here are Fred's parents. They're here. Why are they here? I don't know, but I have a couple questions about that. So, anyway, wow, okay. So this episode did a couple of different things, some interesting developments in terms of the overarching story with Mr. E, hot dog water, Fred's parents showing up, all that kind of stuff, and then Mr. E calling Velma. So let's talk about those overarching stuff first, then we'll get to the Dreamweaver stuff, because, my god, okay, that was a lot. I was like, oh, there's a lot more, there's a lot going on here that I wasn't expecting. I should have guessed by the Dreamweaver, the web of the Dreamweaver, whatever the title was, I should have kind of guessed that was going to be something pretty crazy, but I didn't expect to go that far the way it did, but, okay. So overarching stuff. So Hot Dog Water, unfortunately, is kicked out. She was in the intro. Daphne was not in the intro. I actually watched to see if Daphne was back in the intro, and she is in that opening shot when it cuts like the camera through the van or around the van. But when it shows where Daphne would be at, it's actually Hot Dog Water. She gets kicked out. They brought her all this food and stuff in typical Shaggy and Scooby fashion, but it's only been 5 of us. Like, well, you could have had a 6th member. You could have Hot Dog Water in the mix, but there's some back and forth between her and Velma specifically, and she says, I thought you would choose me, our friendship over Mystery Incorporated. And like, I get your point, but at the same time, Velma has been with Mr. Inc. for a very long time, in terms of like, these friends and everything. So it's very different. It's kind of hard to pick and choose, I would think, in this situation. But then Hot Dog Water calls Mr. E and goes, hey, so you called it exactly right, and I have her right where I want her, all that kind of stuff. Like, so this was all planned. Like, she was warned about this a little bit ago for Mystery, but still, she's playing it up like, we have her where we want her and everything, and it's like, she has no idea. It's like, what's going on here? So then Mr. E calls Velma later and said that you made a couple mistakes. First of all, the fact that, you chose Hot Dog Water, and the fact that she's not in Mystery Inc. I guess you really don't want to save your friends. And then Velma hangs up saying, wrong number, Mr. E. Don't know who that was. Wrong number. But I wonder what Mr. E's point was to dig deeper into the fact that she didn't choose hot dog water, because Velma was clearly visibly upset after hot dog water left, sitting there and like, I guess we'll check out this mystery, I guess. But you could just tell that she was really upset. But so interesting with the whole Mr. E thing there. Who was the shadow that was in the house at one point in the episode that you see and then they go away? No idea. In Fred's house. Then Fred's parents show up. They're here. Now, I'm wondering why it took them this long to show up, because here's the thing, and here's the questions. One, why did it take them so long after the fact? Like, why didn't they go to Crystal Cove and then maybe get a hold of somebody, or try to meet somebody who can get a hold of Fred, who's out traveling trying to find them? Because I would have thought, because Mr. E said something in season 1 saying that the rest are going to be staying away or whatever. Like, it seemed like, is he in contact with them? It maybe just the wording of that. I remember that in season 1 very specifically about the others will stay away as long as, Fred is in play or something. Or something was going on with that, but I don't know. But now they're here. Kind of an odd timing around the same time Mr. E is getting more active again, and the fact that it's no longer Angel Dynamite. She's back to it's Cassidy, right? Her name, and the fact that Hot Dog Water is working with Mr. E. Like, I have a lot of questions about the timing of them showing up, because they knew where Fred was. He got taken away. So wouldn't they know to go to Crystal Cove as soon as because I'm assuming they would have had to have heard that, he was arrested, that the freak, Fred's dad, the mayor, was arrested. I would assume they would have showed up sooner, but I'm guessing it wasn't convenient for the storytelling, so they had to make us wait. So I don't know. But they're here. We'll see what happens. We'll see. I mean, this is a big thing for Fred, and Daphne's back at the mix, and clearly Daphne's like, I want to be friends and all that stuff, but I don't know. A little moment between the house explosion, which, okay. So, we'll see what happens to all the Fred stuff with his actual parents being here. It's kind of crazy. So, the Dreamweaver stuff. So, I started to suspect the first guy in the opening of the episode who woke up and crashed his car through his glass house, and he went and drove it into a bank or whatever, and he stole all the money, but he was covering his tracks or whatever. I started to suspect him when we're getting in the third act of the episode, because I'm thinking, okay, so he explained his dream, yet the baking, cooking woman is clearly like a parody of Paula Deen or whatever. Like, we saw it in real time when it happened to her. For him, when he explained it, we didn't see the opening of the episode wasn't him having the dream, and we're seeing it in real time. He was explaining it after the fact. But then we didn't see. But hold on. We didn't see the guy who had the mansion that exploded, so maybe that throws a wrench in it too. But it all went back to their dominant hands. He was dominant left hand, and that's the one who was holding the orb of the Dreamweaver, and it all ties in to the neighbor of Daphne, the guy who actually ended up being the Dreamweaver, Sheriff Bronson, and the parody of Paula Deen. I know she has a name, but I don't remember her name, so that's what I'm calling her. But they all used to play as young kids. A version of Dungeons and Dragons. I guess they couldn't use that because of trademark, so I guess they can't use it as copyright. So they had to come up with a version of Dungeons and Dragons. And they had some animation sequences of them using their characters, right? It was kind of cool, right? To see the characters that they kind of created and seeing the animation of them fighting these, I don't even know what those things were, like goblins or whatever. I'm guessing they were goblins, and seeing the different characters or whatever, like hey, it'd be kind of cool to see this and I know that they're like the Vox Machina or something, like they have like a version of this in terms of was it Critical Role or something. I don't watch that stuff, but people said the show is good, but it's like based off Dungeons and Dragons, and so they did like an animated show based off like this. It was kind of like this a little bit with the version of Dungeons and Dragons for this sequence. And so the guy lost. The guy who was behind all this, he lost against the Dreamweaver, and so he decided, okay, he wanted to get revenge. Now, to the point of, okay, this is the one thing that I think is completely breaking the show a little bit, and it has to be addressed. So he created a machine to get inside the dreams of others to basically affect them in a way to where they're breaking stuff. And they're all saying the same things. I love that more than my children. Okay. But to make a machine to break into someone else's dreams, to have them have this nightmare of the Dreamweaver coming after them and having them, in terms of the guy, even though he was faking it, you know, driving his car through the bank, having the woman reveal her family recipe of the cornbread mix or whatever it is, having what is Sheriff Bronson, did he break? No, he didn't break anything because he was the last target, but the other guy, he blew up his fucking mansion. Like, the idea of him making this machine to do this is breaking the show. Because the show up to this point is it's all been explained to an extent how they're able to pull this shit off. How even though some of it just doesn't, it just seems, because they always had that one line of dialogue for a lot of the like explanation sequences, to where it explains something that is like really bizarre, but they quickly explain how they figured this out. But this machine, I think it takes to another fucking level. It's breaking the show in my mind, because okay, you're not only creating an illusion, you're creating an illusion within somebody's mind that you're infiltrating. Like, at that point, you're a sci-fi show. You're beyond a mystery show. You're now a sci-fi show that is just going beyond what is capable in the modern world. Okay. So that's the one thing I was like, how are they going to explain this? Because normally they explain certain things, not everything. Not always. I mean, look, the house in the second episode of season 2, the house walking on chicken legs or whatever the fuck, that should not have been a thing. That should not have been able to happen. But this, infiltrating minds and shit and memories and or dreams and giving nightmares, like, it's too much. It's too much. Like, the explanation, no, just, yeah. But they infiltrate, like, in that whole sequence of pulling off the faces or whatever, confess. It's like, okay, that was kind of cool. That was a cool sequence. It was weird, though, but it was cool. It was cool to see more of, like, backstory to kind of Bronson, even though we know a backstory in terms of his mom had prepped him for being sheriff, giving him his first name Sheriff. But seeing it, he actually just was he was kind of a regular kid when he was younger. He was playing this game with other kids. They were friends. They were playing this role-playing game. So it's nice to know that, hey, this guy, you know, even though he is not the best cop or the best sheriff, but still, it's like, hey, he has kind of a life before all this nonsense and all this mayhem now. But it was cool to see the Mystery Inc. back together, working fully and everything, even though things are getting kind of crazy with Fred's parents and Velma feeling like she, you know, really hurt Hot Dog Water, even though she's being tricked. I don't know. It's a lot of layers, a lot of stuff going on. Anything else that I'm missing in this episode that occurred? Not that I can think of. I think overall it was a really good episode, even though the breaking aspect in my mind in terms of the machine, but whatever. And what's going on with Fred's parents? So I'm curious to know what that's all about. So yeah, good times. I love this show. I'm so glad I started watching it. I really am. Hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. I'm curious to know what you guys thought about this episode. Let me know in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.